Hare Krishna. Today I'm going to talk about Isha Upanishad. This Upanishad is extremely dear to my heart because this is the only Upanishad that talks about outer life, that means life in the world, as well as inner life, which is the life of meditation. So it distinguishes between the two and it explains how one should balance both. It says the whole creation is pervaded by the divine, and the same Lord which pervades the creation also dwells within our heart as our own self. And it says a man should try to lead a fulfilling life in the world so that he can avoid death. At the same point in time, one should be dedicated to meditation or try to lead spiritual life so that he can realize immortality. So one must try to balance both. And at the same point in time, in Isha Upanishad, it says something very, very critical. It says one who follows worldly life alone falls into darkness ultimately. But equally, if somebody tries to follow only spiritual life, a life of meditation, even falls into a greater darkness because he has neglected his worldly life, neglected his body. So the instructions are very, very clear. It is saying that by leading a fulfilling worldly life where you take care of your body, you take care of your family, take care of your finances, you take care of everything that's required to be done, one avoids death. And by devoted to life of meditation, one can realize immortality. And one must try to balance both. Just trying to go after one will ultimately lead to darkness. That means one has completely lived in this world without even realizing who one is, without trying to finding out who am I, why am I doing all this. That's the primary purpose of the human life. But at the same point in time, it is very, very important that one should not try to neglect his life in the world. That means his health, his family, his work. So one should try to perfectly balance both and aspire to lead a long life. And this is actually the message of Isavasya Upanishad. And then it goes on to say how one must try to pursue the life of meditation so that ultimately one can realize the self within. And our self, the true self, is nothing but Lord Himself. And it goes on to talk even little greater about what one should be doing. But the most important message that I wanted to highlight from Isavasya Upanishad, it says the whole creation is pervaded by the divine. So we should not try to think that the world is material and our self or the spirit is divine. That's not what it says. It says the outer creation as well as the inner world, everything is created by divine and Lord pervades everything. That's point number one. Point number two, it says that one must pursue both the things simultaneously. One is full attention to life in this world, and second, full attention to his life of meditation. By giving attention to life in this world, that means doing the work, taking care of his physical body, his family, his work, and everything, one will avoid death. That means he doesn't suffer the physical death. And by pursuing the life of meditation, one will realize his true nature as spirit, soul, and realizes that he is immortal. It doesn't really go through, even though the body passes through birth and death, the immortal soul never dies. So one realizes one's own immortality and thereby experiences the true peace and bliss. So that's the message. It's just 18 verses. Please read the book yourself, and you'll be so happy to see that how it beautifully balances the life in the world with life of meditation. And he says one must try to pursue both. Never try to neglect one for the other. And it says very, very clearly, one who just follows one neglecting the other falls into darkness. That is not the path. I hope this will inspire you to read the Upanishad, which is very, very small, and it will make perfect sense to you. Hare Krishna.